radio show on this Wednesday evening as the Roadrunners get set to take on Incarnate Word coming up this weekend. Thank you all for being out here. It's presented by UT Health San Antonio, the official healthcare partner of UTSA Athletics. Time to visit with head coach Jeff Traylor. Take us through the last few days for you. I know it's been very disappointing since the loss to Texas State. What'd you see on the film that you can get corrected going forward?
Well, in these moments, I mean, you find out who you are again. And I told our team, it's the most painful way to learn, but it is how you truly find out who you are as a human when crud doesn't go the way you want it to, especially when you've worked as hard as we've worked. We've tried to do things as right as we've ever done before. We've played really well 2 weeks in a row, and we haven't won. And I told them it's no different than when you're a father one day, when you're an employee one day, if the only reason you're doing right is just to win, if the only reason you're doing right is just to get the job, you're missing the point. The point is it's an inward battle we're all fighting.
Yeah.
And, these are the way you learn. This is how you teach. And it's very uncomfortable because when you lose a football game, you got to deal with it for a long time. And obviously it's been a real beat down on my kids, and that's who I hurt for the most. But my coaching staff and I have been together so long together. We've had a lot of great wins. We've had a lot of tough losses. And we've weathered this storm before. If we can stay healthy, we'll weather it again.
How resilient do you see this team being, and how they've been? Obviously the Texas A&M loss, you pour your heart and soul into that, and then you got your rival with Texas State. But they know they've got to bounce back. And I know you were saying Monday they're all back in the meetings. They're all there on Sunday and Monday ready to go, or Sunday and Tuesday ready to go to work. And you like that in your team, I'm sure.
Yeah, they're tired. They're emotionally tired. They're physically tired. They're mentally tired. I knew we left a lot on the field at A&M. These games are great for administrators. They're great for fans. And I get a big picture view of it. I get it. You want to play, you want to play SMU, Texas Tech, A&M, Sam Houston, Rice, Texas State. Those are what's fun for college football, is for Texas schools to play Texas schools. So I knew when I agreed to do this with Dr. Campos, years ago, this is going to be a tough stretch for us. And I knew this UIW game was a terrible, terrible decision for our school.
Right.
Because they also have a bye week. So they've had 2 weeks to prepare for us, and they're very good. So it couldn't be a worse draw for us coming after 2 rivalry games in a row with A&M and Texas State. It'll be interesting to see how my kids respond Saturday. They've been great all week. But they're playing a really good team that has their leg up on us because of the bye week, and they're really good. Clint has done a great job over there. They've won a lot of games, and they're a good football team.
The offensive line has played well in the first 2 games. You have a relatively healthy offensive line with the exception of Vinley. Corey got back a little bit this week, and your running back is leading the nation in rushing. So that's a good place to start with some positives for this team.
Well, it's a great point, Andy, but it's also concerning. We've been sacked 1 time in 2 games. Now, on paper, we had a sack Saturday, but we ran quarterback draw, and we only gained a yard. So it was not really a sack. It was more of a negative run. So if you want to get technical, we've given up 1 sack, and we have the leading rusher in the country, but yet we threw the ball 43 times for 200 yards, and we got really good quarterbacks, really good receivers, and really good tight ends, but we're dropping the ball like crazy. We had 6 drops in the game. We had a few overthrows and a couple of busted routes, and that's all coaching. That's 100% coaching, and we've got to get that fixed.
You ran the tush push with Patrick Overmeyer to get a first down. Patrick's a former quarterback. That was kind of a fun play. We used to see the motion with the tight end and let Oscar snap it and run, a similar play, and Patrick got you the first down.
Yeah. Pretty nerve-wracking because you can't work on that play live in practice. I mean, that's a real physical play. So a lot of reps on air. So you're really terrified in a game that big what's that first one going to look like? So I was really glad I saw it move forward quite a bit.
Yeah. How excited was it for Patrick, even though he wasn't throwing the ball, to have another shot to be under center for a play?
Well, Patrick played quarterback in high school, so he was excited to get back under there. Their favorite part, like, there's something I'll tell y'all that people don't know what happened on the punt. Ty Leonard got hurt the week before in the A&M game. He's the personal protector on the punt team. So he's the guy that does the cadence. Well, defensive football players love going wide 80, set hut, right? So when you're on the punt team, now you're the guy that gets to do that. Well, Ty got hurt. So now the backup personal protector had to do it. Well, he got out there and got a little excited, and his cadence was pretty quick, and it scared the heck out of Isaac. And you can see Isaac literally, we should have got a penalty. I mean, Isaac literally snapped the ball and then snapped it again, and he missed our punter by about 7 yards for the first safety, which literally gave them a ton of momentum.
Sure.
And the things that go into football blow my mind. So, Patrick, I was really scared at the time that, oh, Lord, here comes another cadence. Are we fixing to fumble this snap like we did the punt a while ago?
All right, Shad Banks got your first takeaway of the year, and you got a sack in the game, so you resume that streak after missing it against Texas A&M, and you need all those takeaways that you can get. That's a big part of the game.
It is, but, again, we didn't play winning football. I mean, Shad got us the turnover. We had great field position. We don't score on 4th and short. We come up with no points. It's not good football. We couldn't do anything offensively early. Defense was great. Offense just going like crazy. Defense can't stop them. Defense finally stop them. We can't score. It's just a recipe for losing football, and we've got to get that fixed. Now, I'll say that when you play two really good football teams, they usually give you more recipes for losing too. So I don't want to take anything away from A&M and Texas State, because I feel like we've got a good team too.
Talk about that wide receiving core. You weren't able to throw the ball downfield a lot against A&M, but you got more of that, even though there were some busts. And you got Devin McEwen, and DJ Allen's back and finally healthy. Good to see him out there.
DJ's back, and AJ made a great catch, and we're going to be fine there. Jamel Hardy's still out with an injury. That's been a big injury for us. We need to get Jamel up and going quickly. But we've got great depth. Willie's getting more healthy, McCoy. I think you'll start seeing him more. We've got to get that room going. They're better than what we're showing on video right now.
All right, we're going to hear from two players tonight. Is Kendrick Blackshshire, one of UTSA's inside linebackers, and right tackle Jaylen Garth are out here tonight. We'll talk with those guys coming up in the next two segments. UTSA fans, get ready for the Ensira punt for a pickup at every home game. One lucky fan will have the chance to win a brand new truck courtesy of Ensira. San Antonio, the official healthcare partner of UTSA Athletics. Enjoy Bud Light while cheering on the runners. Bud Light is the official beer of UTSA Athletics. Birds up, buds up all season long. And you can call Cowboys Air Conditioning and Heating day or night at 210-934-2077 and take advantage of their 1-hour arrival guarantee. Cowboys AC is the official HVAC sponsor of UTSA Athletics. Go local, go Cowboys, go Roadrunners. Each week we have players on, and we consider these our stars of the show. USAA honors the stars who serve in our military as the official military appreciation sponsor. And we have 2 stars with us here tonight, Jaylen Garth in just a little bit. And right now we're going to visit with Kendrick Blackshshire. Welcome to the show. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Very well.
Yes,
I did an interview with Kendrick earlier today that will be on the pregame show on Saturday. But you've had a transformation this year. The coaches are raving about how much more acclimated you are to the program and really a leader on this team, and you got a single digit. So life is pretty good for you right now. Talk about all that.
Just first, I just want to thank God. But this training staff and the strength and conditioning staff have really took their time with me over this past summer and done wonders for me. And I'm just grateful and thankful for them and Coach Traylor just believing in me. It's been good.
You've had a little bit of a journey. You started your career at Alabama and then came to San Antonio. Talk about making the trip to Tuscaloosa and then finding your home back here.
Yes, sir. I went to Tuscaloosa, Alabama in 2021. Up there with Saban. I had a good time up there, mainly on special teams. Played a little here and there. I had a good time up there. Learned a lot under Saban.
You're from Duncanville High School. Pretty good football program there. Talk about your memories and your days in high school not too long ago.
Oh man, I played against Shad at North Shore in the championship game, and they won on a Hail Mary drive. I don't know if y'all seen that, but he got us there.
Truly one of the greatest games, one of the greatest plays like in Texas high school football history. And KB was on the wrong end of it, but it was a miracle play. And believe it or not, Shad was a wide receiver back then, and Shad was one of the ones in the end zone that almost caught the ball.
Yeah,
As me and KB had to listen to this quite a bit from Shad.
Hey, I have too much actually.
Yeah.
And we grew up together, like playing pee-wee ball. So
yeah.
We got history, man. I love Shad. Ain't gonna lie.
Did you ever think you were going to make it back to be teammates together at UTSA?
No. I ain't gonna lie, but it's a blessing. It's a blessing. It's just crazy how everything comes full circle.
Jeff, talk about Kendrick and the commitments he's made and the work he's done to be the player and the single-digit player.
There's a lot of things wrong with the transfer portal, but there's also a lot of good things about the transfer portal, right? I mean, you're looking at 3 tonight. You're looking at KB, who we got him. You're looking at Big J here. We got him from Houston and Texas. You're looking at Kamara right here, came from Rutgers, and there's a lot of good that comes with that too. And honestly, these 3 guys are my favorites because they really appreciate the way we treat them. They've seen what it's like on the other side. The ones that are spoiled rotten for me are the brats that have only played for us. All they know is us. But these guys are so good in the locker room to go, y'all don't understand how good we have it here. The dude really does care for you. He coaches his ass off, and we've won a lot of games. Now, we haven't done it yet, but we're still going to. I mean, because I've got great leaders right here that work their tails off. There's nobody hurting more than these guys are right now, except for the man coaching them. But there's some good in the transfer portal, and you're looking at 3 examples of that tonight, 3 wonderful humans that are great players for us.
Kendrick, talk about that culture and being here and experiencing it and what it's like and how different it is from other places that you've been.
Oh, man, it's a family culture. Everybody really buys in and I ain't never just been in a locker room where everybody talks to one another and it's really like a family and a brotherhood, and it's special. It really is special, and we come. I'm telling you, UTSA, we're gonna win a lot of games here in this second half of the season.
You know,
and what you're speaking of is needs to be bragged on so much. If you want something you never had, you got to do something you've never done. Well, KB's body was not in great shape. He like a lot of us, got a little sloppy there for a while. But the man really has educated himself on how to eat, how to take care of his body, and he's transformed himself. Like he'd be glad to take his shirt off here in a heartbeat, because he should. I mean, his body has just been transformed, and all of us that have done that, because I've been the big boy before, 40 pounds heavier, and it's hard. It's hard to push away, and what he's done to get his body right deserves a ton of praise. And I know he's giving the credit to the strength staff. He's giving the credit to our trainer, Paul. He's giving the credit to me. But KB is the most, I can promise you right now, if I ask him who's the most important coach in his life, KB is the most important coach in his life. We're just here to help steer and guide him. He's the one that did all the work.
So what's your secret? How'd you get in shape, and how'd you get as fit as you are?
Man, just really, I think I fast without even trying. Really, I don't eat.
How do you do that? 'Cause I'd like to learn that. Fast without trying. Anybody in the room want to do that?
Fast without trying.
I walked in here a little while ago and smelled the food and started getting hungry.
Exactly.
I be hungry. I do be hungry, but I be like, I eat later.
Well, I know last year when I had Oscar Cardenas on at Media Day, I said, "What'd you do to lose 20 pounds?" He goes, "Portion control. I just didn't eat the third and fourth helping."
I like your snacks, though.
Yeah, snacks. I get it. They
I
say
like
your food's supposed to be the size of your palm.
That's an appetizer.
I mean, I do that before the meal gets there.
Yeah. Well, Kendrick, thanks for spending some time with us. All the best of luck the rest of your career here at UTSA, and I know you'll win a bunch of games here pretty soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Nice job.
All right. Kendrick Blackshshire with us out here. We'll visit with Jaylen Garth coming up here in just a little bit. middle for UTSA. And because UTSA is left-handed quarterback university, the right side is the blind side. And Jaylen, you get to protect Owen. Welcome to the show. Thanks for being here, and take us through the season so far. I know you're disappointed that the Roadrunners are 0-2, but the offensive line seems to be pretty healthy and playing pretty well.
Yes, sir. Like you said, we started off slow, but I feel like we had a really good practice this week, so you should see things set off right now.
Talk about blocking for Robert Henry and the fact that you're blocking for a guy that's leading the nation in rushing right now. I know it's only 2 games, but you guys have to be proud of that. Talk about that relationship between running back and offensive line.
Oh, yeah, he makes our job easy. It's all him. He makes us look good.
So is a good offensive line help a running back be great, or does a great running back make an offensive line look really good?
Great running back makes the offensive line look good.
Yeah. Let me say this. I had a big argument with my guys because they put the Triangle of Toughness Award winners last week were like McEwen, Robert, a couple more wide receivers, some other kids, and none of my old linemen were in there. And it just shows you how high our expectations are for our old linemen, that we had 500 yards of offense. We scored 36 points, but we're so frustrated we didn't get the ball in on 4th down and a foot that we just couldn't do it. And they all understand it. You only go as far as your O-line goes, and we've got a really good O-line, and they're really good people. So we've got a chance to be special because we've got some really good linemen.
Having a left-handed quarterback, as I said a minute ago, you're the protector for Owen. So talk about that responsibility and knowing that he can't see what's coming if you miss.
Yeah, I feel like I take pride in that since he can't see what's coming from the right side. So I just always try to do my job and not let him get hit.
You're one of those players that was voted in as a single-digit player, even though you can't wear it because of the position that you play. Tell us about what that meant to you and the fact that your teammates and coaches thought that much of you.
I feel like it meant a lot. I didn't give too much notice to it. I just, throughout the whole offseason and summer, I just put my head down and work. I didn't really pay too much attention to that.
Jeff, talk about Jaylen and getting him here and what he's meant to this line and having him a part of it.
We knew his high school coach very well. He had been injured. He had not been healthy. He hadn't played a lot because of his injuries. I would say he struggled last year. I would say he had a below-average season. But Jay never says a word. He just says, yes, sir, and works his tail off. And now he is exceeded his lineman buddies. Has just become a great football player because he just trains so hard, and he's just a real professional. And we've got 2 really good offensive tackles in Kamar and Jay, and they're good people. And I'm really just so proud of what he's done. I know his high school coach is very proud of him, and all of us are. And then we're all sick of how we played as a team, but I'm really proud of how my O-line is. They've given up 1 sack this season, and they played 2 very good teams, and they have the leading rusher in the country. That's pretty freaking good.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely. So, Jaylen, take us through the training that you went through from last year, knowing that you needed to improve, and what was your training regimen like from even in the middle of last year to now? What's a day like for you to get ready to play football at the level you are?
Well, last year, once the season ended, I just had that bad taste in my mouth. So as soon as it was over, January till now, I just been working on my weaknesses and just been trying to get better.
What's that like? What's a day-to-day routine? How much time in the weight room? How much time getting treatment, getting in more physical shape, eating right, all those kind of things? Take us through what your day may be like.
You want like a day-to-day?
Yeah, just kind of how do you get in that kind of shape, and how do you recognize that you need to work on certain things?
I feel like with film, like after a season, I watched every game and like I just saw what I could have did better, then saw other guys who I look up to who do their job pretty good and just compare myself to them.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
How do you and Kamar put up with my brother always just hollering and screaming all the time? Isn't that annoying?
You got him there, didn't you?
It has to be.
I mean, I know he does it because he loves us, but yeah,
He's extreme.
Kind of an extreme deal there. All right, you played for.
He says it's okay because he used to be big and lazy, so he thinks he should always be able to get on to big people because he thinks everybody's big and lazy. What do you think about that reasoning? Just because he was big and lazy, did he have to be mean to y'all?
Nah, that's crazy.
Yeah. All right. Well,
I didn't get much out of him. I'm not a very good interviewer.
all right. Let's talk about you played for another. It's kind of great that all these great high school programs are developing players that come to UTSA. We talked with Kendrick earlier. You went to Port Neches Grove in the Golden Triangle. Talk about your time down there and making your way to UTSA.
Yeah, I went there my whole high school career. I got hurt in my junior year, about 7 games through, and then I rehabbed and recovered. Then my senior year, I missed my senior season. I tore my ACL the second preseason game.
And then you went to Texas and Houston before coming here. Talk about those stops and what led you to UTSA.
Yeah, I was at the University of Texas for 3 years. Ended up only playing in 2 games. Transferred to Houston, strictly special teams only, and that's when I decided to come to UTSA.
We talked with Kendrick about this culture and the way that the coaches treat you and the family atmosphere. Talk about that and how important that is to not only you but to your entire team.
Yeah, when Coach Traylor mentions about how it's different other places in here, he's not lying. I always tell some of my teammates, like, we're really blessed to be playing for Coach Traylor. It's different other places.
Awesome. Well, Jaylen, thank you for being with us today. Thanks for spending some time. Continue to block people and protect Owen, and we'll look forward to some more great things from that O-line.
Sure, thank you.
All right, that's Jaylen Garth, UTSA offensive lineman. be honored at the Rice game on October 11th on the field. It's time to scout the opponent, brought to you by Cowboys AC. Call Cowboys Air Conditioning and Heating day or night at 210-934-2077 to take advantage of their 1-hour arrival guarantee. Cowboys AC, the official HVAC sponsor of UTSA Athletics. Go local, go Cowboys, go Roadrunners. Let's talk about Incarnate Word. They were a team that went deep into the FCS playoffs last year, and they are a good football team, and I know you got all of your attention on the Cardinals coming up on Saturday.
Yeah, they're as good as anybody we're going to play on our schedule. I mean, their quarterback's very good. He's right here out of San Antonio, played over at Southside. Their receivers are super. Clint's done a fantastic job. You know, Eric started that thing off, did a great job. GJ came in, kept it going, and, man, Clint's taken it to another level. And I think they've been ranked, you know, in the top 25 for over 50 consecutive weeks, 3 conference championships. It's really amazing how he's kept those players there. And I spoke to him at the pep rally about it last night, and their school's very committed. You could tell by hearing their president speak last night, their AD speak. They're all in. They're all in. They want to be the football team of San Antonio. They don't really care about us, and they've got us circled, and they've been ready. They got a bye week, and we're going to have our hands full Saturday.
Their quarterback, Torres, what does he do that's really good? Where do you have to be concerned with him?
Yeah, I love Richard. We recruited him out of high school. He chose Nebraska, you know, and then he came back home to UIW. And he's just big. He's very, very strong. He's got a quick release, very accurate, and he throws to a great receiving core. He's throwing to a legit NFL wide receiver in Walthall. The kid's legit. Every NFL scout that comes by asks me about him. He's got great size. You know, he's 6'2". He's very fast. Played at Manville High School. And really good football player.
When you look at their roster, it's got a lot of transfers that played at Power 4 conference schools and American conference schools. So they've compiled a roster of FBS players that are playing on an FCS team.
Yeah, you can just tell by the way their administration spoke how important it is over there. It was really cool to hear last night at the citywide pep rally. And much respect for that school, what they've done. To do it with 3 consecutive coaches is really impressive. And a lot of respect.
They've got a good running back in Carter, kind of a shifty player. Tell me about him.
And they also got Spears, who was the player of the year in that league last year. So those 2 backs are back there in the back. It's really impressive. They're shifty. They're strong. I asked him, how's he getting all this talent in there? So he's done a great job.
How about their defense? What's their strengths there?
Yeah, I love the mighty linebacker. I mean, Declan will knock the heck out of you. Defensive end will get at you 3. I love 90, the defensive tackle. I love the safety, 7. The corner, 24. And their DC, I've got a ton of respect for Jim. You know, what he's done over there. Gush. You know, we've battled him at North Texas, and he's been around. I think he's been coaching 40 years. He's just a good defensive football coach, and those guys are going to get after us. And I've tried to warn y'all about it, and you're going to see it Saturday. It's going to be a heck of a ball game.
So last year we played an FCS school in Kennesaw, and I asked you about this on the radio show last night. You said last year about Kennesaw they're going to be better than you want them to be. Talk about what you meant, and how does that compare to an Incarnate Word that's gone so deep into the FCS playoffs the last couple of years?
Well, actually, Kennesaw is FBS.
Yeah, that's right.
Houston Christian was the FCS team, and their great receiver was A.J. Wilson, who's now on our team. These guys are just talented, and they're well coached, and they've won a ton. So that's what makes that different. You're playing a program that's used to winning, and those guys know how to prepare. They know how to win, and that's what's got us all worried and staying up late at night right now.
When you play a team that, you know, quote unquote, you're supposed to beat. I mean, A&M had that pressure against UTSA, and it got a little close there when we thought we had the turnover. How does that change the way a team prepares and plays, and knowing that the pressure is the other team doesn't have any pressure? It's their Super Bowl, as I think you said earlier in the week.
Well, yeah, but imagine if we'd have played A&M in San Antonio.
Yeah.
UIW is playing UTSA in San Antonio. We didn't play A&M in San Antonio. We played A&M in College Station.
Right.
So there's a tremendous difference. I just don't think people are calculating all the advantages these guys really have. You know, I even last night at the parade, I'm like, why are we going downtown for the parade? Can't they come out here with us? I mean, why? They're the one that's been winning all the daggum ball games. We need to quit being so nice.
How about Caleb Lewis? Used to play for UTSA. He transferred over. I was watching a little bit of the Nichols game, and he made a few plays.
Yeah, I love Caleb. Played at Cibolo and played for us. Great family. Really happy he's over there having success, and I know he'll be ready to go Saturday.
You mentioned earlier this is a great schedule for fans and alumni and the city, and that's why you made this schedule and this game in particular. What's the perfect schedule look like? I saw where Tulane had Northwestern come in, and they've got to go to Northwestern twice in the next 3 or 4 years. What's the best schedule to be able to win, to be able to compete for the CFP, and get your team ready for conference play?
Yeah, I've talked to Dr. Compost about that quite a bit. You know, we need money so bad because we're such a new program that I just think we've got to be smart, you know, just playing A&M and LSU and Texas every year. And let's try our best to get a 2-for-1 where we can get a P4 to come to our place and play.
Right.
She's all in 100% behind that. You know, I think we're at a different point now where we need to start looking that way more. And, you know, we're already signed to a commitment with Texas and LSU. But with all the scheduling going on right now in the SEC, will somebody let us out? I don't know. But, yeah, I'd love to get a 2-for-1. I'd love to get a P4
right
in San Antonio. Like you see Tulane, like you mentioned, get Northwestern at home. Can you imagine us getting a P4 at home?
That'd be awesome.
This place would be rocking. I mean, it'd be incredible. And she's working on it, and I'm sure she'll figure it out.
All right, we got one more segment to go. We'll talk about a few other things, including the play of the game last week in the Texas State game. Roadrunner fans, the excitement doesn't stop at the Rocket La Cantera. You can enjoy free events every month from live sports, watch parties, concerts, and family movie nights. There's something for everyone, and it's all right here in San Antonio. Visit theRocketLaCantera.com to see what's happening next, and catch the weekly Jeff Traylor Show right out here at Roca and Subaru will be making a donation for every Roadrunner's successful kick to the Texas Animal Defense League and to the Roy Moss Youth Alternatives, providing shelter and counseling to children in need. Love it. It's what makes a car a Subaru. And if you want tickets to UTSA games, become a Texas Farm Bureau Insurance member and get 2 free tickets to Roadrunners football, basketball, and baseball games when you redeem online. Visit goutsa.com/TFB tickets to learn more. And SureMed Emergency Medical Service is proud to serve San Antonio with trusted professional ambulance service 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So let's talk about the play of the game from last week. What play did you like the best, or plays that you liked the best in the Texas State game?
You know, my mind always goes to the plays we didn't make, which is sad. I thought the play Robert made coming out of halftime, that was a huge play in the game. I thought the 2-point play where they went cover 0 and Owen checked us to the protection, slid to the right, threw the ball to Devin. Those are big plays. Shad Banks interception, what a huge play that was. It was just a great game. It went back and forth. Unless you're a UTSA fan, if you're just a football fan or a Texas State fan, it was a great game. But for the rest of us, it was agony.
In the past, we saw a lot of slant patterns to Josh Cephas and to Zachary Franklin and to JT. And there for a while, I think there was 3 or 4 series in a row where the slant pattern was open, and even the deeper post pattern to AJ around the goal line. So some good things with the receivers there.
Yeah, Owen has a good feel for that ball. We've got to get better in the outside lanes. But he's got a good feel for that ball, to your point.
One of the things I think you've said, not only this year but in past years, when there's been a slump or a slow start or you haven't won a game that you thought you could have, is to not let the outside noise get to you. How do you teach that? How do you tell players to do that? And what's the secret sauce when you know that you're trying as hard as you can to win games, but there's those that are going to go online or go on social media and talk negatively?
Yeah, you're just teaching all the time. But I even had to talk to Carrie about it, my own children about it, my mother about it, my closest friends about it. I don't want to know. Like I don't want to hear. I don't want to know. I don't want to hear a word. I don't want to hear anything. So I mute anybody and everybody. I try to teach my kids to, but it's really hard. Even doing that, the outside noise gets to us. Whether it's Greg Lucas' question or JJ's question or your questions, I know y'all have a fan base that y'all have to respond to as well. So you still know what they're saying by the questions you're getting.
Yeah.
So I had to teach my players, how to handle it. And it's stuff that you already know, Andy. I mean, you got to control the controllables. What can we control? And my kids, y'all have heard me say it a million times. I didn't invent it, but, an insult from a fool is a compliment, and a compliment from a fool is an insult. And we've come out of this so many times. Sadly, this is my 6th season here. We've had 2 winning seasons in the month of September. 2. We're guaranteed to not have another one. That's a guaranteed fact. Mathematically, we can't do it. So we schedule tough. We play good people, and we play a lot of people on our roster. That's a lot of factors that are included in getting all the slow starts, but it's also what sustains us through October and November if we can stay healthy. That's always the question mark. When you give away a couple of games that you had a chance to win, as a head coach, where you can get a little negative and worrisome is if you were to get an injury bug after you've given away a couple of games. When you go grab a couple of games early you weren't supposed to, in the back of your mind, you're going, well, if I get injured, at least I get some time to get well. We can't afford any more giveaway games. We got to go win them.
When you're a American Conference team, when you're a Conference USA team, the CFP is what you're hoping. You're hoping you're that one team that gets that bid. But at the end of the day, isn't it about conference championships and winning your conference and winning your bowl game and making sure that you're one of the top mid-major programs in the nation?
Well, here's a fact I can give you. It's only P4. There's 4 Power 4 conferences.
Right.
So there are 6 of us now. They're only going to take one of the 6 conference champions.
Right.
So 5 conference champions are not going to go.
Right.
Now they can tell us we've got the possibility of getting 2 in there.
When we get to 24 teams, we might
Maybe.
get 2.
We might get 2. You're right. So I have a big picture view of that. Obviously, South Florida's on a whole nother level right now. They have invested heavily in their roster, and their number of scholarships and them going into the swamp, beating Florida. I'd say they're the pick to win our conference, and obviously no one's going to consider us because of the start we're off to, and that's rightly so.
Shad Banks not only got the pick, but he broke the triangle of toughness. I was asking Frank Valadez out here early if he got it fixed yet. So what's the status of the triangle?
Never doubt Frank Valdez. I would say the injury report has not been given to me, but if Frank were to give me the injury report, Frank, are you hearing me out there? What would the injury report be for the triangle Saturday? Can he hear us at all out there? I'd say probable.
Probable,
if I had
yeah.
to guess, but I haven't asked Frank yet.
Yeah, we're working on that. Tomorrow is 9/11. Most of the players on this team, or a lot of them, were not born in 2001. Is that a teaching moment? I know you're a history teacher, and you want to keep you try to teach kids about life and things like that. What do you tell those that weren't around then, or if they were very young?
Yeah, there were none of them around. I don't think I have anybody on my team older than 24. And that's crazy to believe that's what they would be now.
Yeah.
You know, I'll probably do like all of us will. I'll probably tell them what I was doing and how I knew the world changed in that moment.
Yeah.
And how scared I was. And we played football that Friday.
I know.
We played Hemp Hill and Stephen F. Austin State University. And I'll never forget my guys wanted to run through the run-through sign with the American flag. And it was freaking really cool. And we went out there and played one of our best games of our lives. And then we at least escaped from all the madness, like football does for so many of us, for a few hours.
Right. I broadcasted Bernie versus Marble Falls that Friday, 3 days after.
Crazy how we both remember that very vividly.
Absolutely. All right, let's talk about the keys to the game and how do you beat Incarnate Word?
Yeah, well, it always starts with our defense. And I don't know which way Clint's going to go. You know, they were 12 personnel early in the year, running the ball well. He spread back out. Is he going to give us a mixture of both? He's had 2 weeks to prepare. So it'll be interesting to see which offensive philosophy he goes with. So our defense is going to have to adjust once we figure out what that looks like. Offensively, we just got to keep getting better. You can't drop back to throw the ball 40 times and have 200 yards. That's unacceptable. Special teams, we were really bad on our kickoff team. Our kickoff return team was okay. Our punt return team was not very good again. We've got to get better. The Roadrunners have got a lot of stuff to fix.
The season goes by so fast after taking forever to get here. We're already in week 3, and it seems like we just got started. And before you know it, the conference season's gonna be here. So how do you kind of cope with the speed of what's going on, knowing that you want to get a win and you need to get a win?
You get in a routine. You don't like changing kids' schedules. Men are we're pretty simple creatures. People don't need to move our cheese very much. So I got to get them in a good routine, get them in a good pattern, figure out how this team likes to maneuver and be successful. And we're still trying to figure out that formula right now.
We had a fun atmosphere with 46,000 in the Dome last week almost, and we'd like to get as many as we can close to that number this week against Incarnate Word.
Yeah, that's what hurts. You know, everybody did their jobs except for me. Fans, administration, marketing, tickets, and head ball coach couldn't get a win for everybody. It hurts me.
All right, thanks so much, and we'll look forward to Saturday.
Thank y'all. God bless. Birds up.
That's Jeff Traylor. That's the Jeff Traylor Radio Show. Don't forget UTSA Athletics Hall of Fame induction ceremony presented by BMW happens Friday, October 10th. This year's class includes legends from golf, softball, baseball, and administration. Get your tickets.